I think what keeps it going is its ability to introspect and the ability to hold on to a note, to go deeper in the note, to see all the layers, textures, shades, the subtleties, the sensitivities, like even the ability to identify or connect with the rag with a single phrase. Like you just sing Re Nisa and the rag is right in front of you with one phrase. I think that's the most beautiful part of it. I was very fortunate to be born in a family of music enthusiasts and passionates. My grandfather used to sing very beautifully, and unfortunately, he couldn't learn with a guru or a teacher. But he used to be in the company of Mahatma Gandhi ji, and he used to do Prabhat fairies. Like he was in a small town called Chopra, which is in Maharashtra. And at 4 o'clock, he used to go on his bicycle in the entire small village, singing songs to wake up people. So I think that was the journey where music came to me. And then my mother is a big passion, has a big passion for music totally. But since she was born in a smaller town where there were very less opportunities to learn music or to explore art, she couldn't unfortunately continue it herself. But the moment she was married and she came to a place like Pune, she decided that her child has to learn music and she would uh, send her to a guru and give her the opportunity to explore this art. So earlier I was learning Khayal music under the guidance of Srimati Sudhadev and Dr. Mohan Derekar. I also learned light music, semi-classical kind music with Dr. Sunil Bikari. And when I was in ninth standard, my mother took me to a concert of my Guruji Pandit Uday Bhawalkar in Pune. It was close by, right? The place we are right now, it's very close by from here. And I think that was the most beautiful experience of sound of my life. And something changed inside, which I thought that this is something that I should pursue. It felt like an inner calling, and I just connected. And at that moment, I didn't even know if Guruji resided in Pune, whether he would, accept me as his disciple or. But I was way fascinated with his singing, with this whole idea of exploring the rag. So after that concert, I called him up a couple of times, but unfortunately, he was in the United States, in Seattle at that time, teaching for a longer duration, 9 months, 6 months at the UW, I think, university. Yeah. So I kept calling him after every 6 months, whenever he was there, and finally that time came 2 years later, and he was very easy about it. That, oh, okay, so you're living close by, you come over. And I went to his place, and I mean, he just without any kind of microphones or artificial sound treatment, just his voice with the tanpura. Oh my God, I still remember the first time I visited his home. And it was only notes that we sung that time, just sa, re, ga, ma with syllables of Dhrupad. No rag was sung at that time. But I think that was the beginning. I just felt that this is the thing I must do. And about Drupad, I think the next part was what kept you going in Drupad. So I think it it has this how can I say the abstractness in Drupad is relatable to the cosmos, I would say, but at the same time, it has a lot of intricacies and a lot of details. So I think it's a very beautiful introspective journey, and that keeps me going, I think. There was a transition phase of about 8 to 9 months, I think. But the moment I heard Dhrupad and the moment Guruji accepted me as his disciple, I think that was my decision was made that this is the art form that I want to do, yeah. And I just connected with it. So though sometimes I still sing the old bhakti compositions, or there is this very popular art form called Natya Sangeet, where there used to be stage dramas, and it was mostly in Marathi language. So I used to sing those kinds of songs a lot before I started learning Drupal. So eventually, sometimes I'll miss singing those songs a little, yeah. But I just keep humming them, and yeah. That's it. But I never felt like going back to that, yeah. Path again.
Okay.
Yes, I would definitely say it's a kind of spiritual practice, because the ultimate aim is to be one with sound. And I think your whole body sings, becomes the instrument to sing. It's not like you're singing just with your voice, or your brain, just your mind. The vibrations that are felt while singing are throughout the system, throughout the body. So definitely it's a spiritual kind of a practice, and the art form is very, very spontaneous. So you have to be absolutely present in the moment to live it to the fullest. So naturally, it requires a very high level of concentration also, which makes you forget yourself, your ego, your surrounding, your your being, and the music just takes over. So definitely, I would say it's spiritual.
Beautiful.
And also, yeah, I would like to add another point. While we are practicing, there is a lot of repetition also. Like we keep practicing the same exercise, the same palta for many hours together. I think that also has a lot of deeper meaning to it, to keep going the same path again and again, so you understand more beauties of it in the journey. And I think the more you sing the same and same stuff, it gets its own shine.
Yes.
I think what keeps it going is its ability to introspect, and the ability to hold on to a note, to go deeper in the note, to see all the layers, textures, shades, the subtleties, the sensitivities, like even the ability to identify or connect with the rag with a single phrase. Like you just sing Re Nisa, and the rag is right in front of you with one phrase. I think that's the most beautiful part of it. And also, I feel like each art form is complete in itself.
Mm.
The art form is not the thing that is lacking. It is the artist who tries to push the boundaries further. When it's, yeah, being performed in audiences of thousands or lakhs, that kind of mentality is slightly different. I'm not saying it's bad, it's very good, and it is classic music also. But I think the intrinsic nature of Drupad is such that it has to be in a cozy, better kind of a setting with limited people, when the artist is directly connected to the audience, to the rag. The audience is getting carried away with the rag. I think that is the element of Drupad. If 1 lakh audience is sitting for a Drupad concert, it is slightly difficult for all the energy to channelize in, yeah, one note. On the contrary, if it's like a limited kind of a setting, it's, yeah, more intimate and more intense.
That makes sense.
And definitely, Drupad is extremely global, because 90%, 95% of the portion is totally abstract. There is no lyrical content in it. You sing with syllables R, N, Ri, Na, Nu. So you try to see the same note from various dimensions. You're trying to go deeper with the same note without any lyrical content. So it is relatable to everybody. There's no language barrier.
Yeah.
I think, as I said earlier, the art form is complete in itself. So I don't think there is any need for any kind of additional elements for the art form to become more beautiful. But I would definitely say, I'm not sure of the earlier times, but there are a few rags, like I would say Sampurna Malkans or Pratiksha, Bhupavali. Such rags I have never heard in Dhrupad. So that can definitely be one of the innovations. Or even, for example, like recently, I have heard a lot of rags from Guruji, like Chayanad, Kamod, which, or even sometimes people think rags like Bhairavi or Des, they are not kind of Drupad kind of rags, but that's not true.
Hmm.
Drupad has that element to explore emotions from all rags. So I think that would be one of the elements to innovation.
Yeah.
To incorporate more and more rags in the Drupad system.
Yeah. All right.
I think in today's era, social media, if used wisely, that is underlined, if used wisely, I think that is a very, very powerful tool to reach out. Like basically, you're sitting in the comfort of your home. You can reach out to anybody in the world. And I think that is such a beautiful thing that, you can take your music places.
Yeah.
Which was so difficult in the earlier times. Like the amount of traveling, the amount of planning involved in everything. Now, all that has become so easy. And I think that is one of the biggest benefits that we have in today's era. So I think I'm no scholar on the textual part. What I have heard from my Guruji is that Sadharani Geeti is a mixture of all the Geetis put together. Shuddha, Bhinna, Gaudi, Vegaswara. All the four come together in Sadharani Geeti. And what actually is the Geeti is the way you sing a note, the way you start unfolding the rag. So I think it's applicable to all the musicality of Dhrupad. But how exactly, I'm not able to explain at this point. I would say each instrument has its own charm. Like the veena has the forte of microtones. The microtones can be studied so much in depth. Similarly with Surbahar. With cello, I would say it is the glide. So each instrument has its own beauty. And the voice is also, like in our olden scriptures, the voice is referred to as Gatra Veena. Gatra is to sing and Veena is the. Yeah. So I have all the. Do you know Johnny Stretcher?
Yes.
Yes. So yes, I once performed a Jugalbandi with him in California. Yeah, we performed Chandrakams together.
Wow.
So it was a beautiful experience. I think it's very, very complimentary to sing with an instrument. So singing vocal Jugalbandi, I think it's not a layered kind of a thing, but when you're doing it with an instrument, it becomes multi-layered and it gets different tones, dimensions, definitely.
So was he playing Surshringar?
Yes, Surshringar, yes.
Wow.
See, I think once we say it's a family, it's a given that there are going to be differences of opinions.
Yes.
And I think that is the part which is beautiful in a family. That although there are differences, everybody is still tied together.
Yeah.
And that is what makes it very diverse and unique. So each person has its own view at looking at a rag. And the rag becomes more open with that, I think. So, of course, if physical interactions, more of a workshop kind of a thing, or those definitely will help. But I think diverse viewpoints is
very important.
Very important. And that creates more beauty to the art.
Yeah, and I think accepting those differences is really important.
Because finally, art is about liberation. It's about my personal expression. So I cannot, like, even while learning with Guruji, he has never asked us to, this is what you have to sing, stick to this phrase. He will always just give that, okay, this is the framework of the rag, and now you feel free to explore yourself. You don't have to copy me. You don't have to sing like I'm singing.
Yeah.
I think that is what keeps it alive. So, brotherhood and sisterhood on a personal level, it's that has to be there. But musically, everybody sharing the same viewpoints will make the art very stagnant.
Stale. Absolutely. Totally agree.
तू